Hi there, my name is Neil Huizinga, and I'm a program manager with Microsoft, working on Dynamics AX 2012. Today I'm going to show you how to create and maintain processes in the Compliance and Internal Controls module of Microsoft Dynamics AX 2012. Processes are the core master data for all transactions that happen in the environmental sustainability features of AX. They serve as the endpoints for any flow of materials or energy. Now, if you go into Compliance and Internal Controls under Common, Environmental Sustainability, Environmental Processes, you can see something called the Environmental Process Map. And I've prepped one here just to show you. So this is a model of a portion of a company where we have some warehouses at one site. We have an electricity and natural gas utility. That utility provides electricity and natural gas to our processes, and it produces greenhouse gases, which get converted into CO2 equivalents. Burning of natural gas at each of the warehouses on site also produces CO2 equivalents. So each of these circles is a process, and each of these connecting lines is a process reference. So I'm going to start and show you how you would define a simple process. So we're bringing a new warehouse online here. So we're going to create a new warehouse that looks very similar to the existing ones. So it's going to be Site 1 secondary warehouse. The sphere is either ecosphere or technosphere. Ecosphere means that the process represents a natural process. So the river is an ecosphere process. The air is an ecosphere process. A technosphere process is one that is an economic process, a man-made economic process. So the forest is an ecosystem process or an ecosphere process, and the logging operation is a technosphere process. Generally speaking, technosphere processes involve money, and ecosphere processes do not. The scope of a process is used to describe the level of control that your organization has over that process. Primary means it's one of your owned processes, so since we own this warehouse, we're going to be primary. Secondary would mean that the goods or services provided by that process are directly attributable to us, and tertiary means that they're indirectly attributable. So the electricity utilities, production of electricity, the impacts related to that are directly attributable to us, so that's a secondary scope process. A vendor or a downstream process where your product is being consumed would be a tertiary process. We're going to set the parent process, say it's part of Site 1. We fully own it, so we have an equity share of 100%. We can use relations to associate processes with vendors and customers. This is neither a vendor or customer, so this is all set. Now that we've created the process, we need to create the process references that describe the flows of energy and materials into and out of this process. The secondary warehouse is a modern warehouse, and it has an incoming process reference of electricity. So the utility provides electricity to this process, and the scope for electricity is secondary per the greenhouse gas protocol. And we're done. The warehouse is not going to have any outgoing process references because it's just going to consume electricity, and the impacts of the electricity actually occur at a different process. It's not consuming any energy that gets burnt on site, so we're done there. Now we can go back to the process maps and modify the query for our little process map here and add our new warehouse, and then take a look at the map. We see that our new warehouse has been added, and that has this blue line to represent the electricity. These hatched lines mean that there's more than one substance that travels along that line. So we can rearrange things a little bit to make everything fit nicer. And then we can add an image to it. So that's how you would define a simple process to use to represent a warehouse. A more complex scenario would be to add a new vendor. Today we're going to add a new vendor to represent our local water utility. So we're going to say new process again. Water utility. The sphere is technosphere because it's an economic process. The scope is tertiary because they provide goods to us, but we don't own them. It doesn't have a parent process, but it does have a relation. So we say it's a vendor, and we select a vendor. So now when you go and process invoices or purchase orders, probably in this case invoices, for this vendor, then an additional tab will appear on the invoice form requesting information about how much materials you purchase from that vendor. So a water utility provides water, but we don't have a substance to represent water yet. To create one of those, we need to go back to Compliance and Internal Controls under Setup, Environmental Sustainability, Substances. So we're going to create two new substances, one for water, and set the category to water for reporting, set the unit to gallons, and set the color to something interesting. And we're going to create wastewater. One of the interesting things about water utilities is that they usually both produce and consume water, as in provide you with fresh water but then also take away your sewer water. And we'll make this look ugly. So now that we have the substance in place, we can add the process references. So from our new water utility to start with the main warehouse, we're going to have water. Scope is tertiary. And then from our main warehouse to our new water utility, we're going to provide wastewater. If we go back into the maps again, include our water utility into the map, then we can see our water utility on the map, and it has overlapping flows in both directions. This way wastewater, the other way fresh water. And if I had an image to add here, we could do that now too. So I hope this gives you a good idea of how processes are managed inside Dynamics AX 2012. Thanks for watching.